Hello there, this is Rom Wills coming back at you with yet another video. Many black men just want a good woman. And you know what, this is a subject, I hit upon or touch upon like every now and then. I've touched, last time I think I touched on this was a video I did, most black men don't want to be players, right? But it's something I think it needs to be said out here, right? Because if you really look at the propaganda from the voices of black women and what's promoted on social media and stuff, it's always like, oh, these black men don't want to settle. They want to be players. They want to be dogs. All of this. To that I say, when women believe that, that's really proof of what I call the female selection criteria. And it's also proof of what others will call the 80-20 rule, or shout out Don Calypso on the Hammond B3, the 95-5 rule. Often women are focused on those few men who, for whatever reason, are in the select category. Be it because of their looks or sex appeal or high status. And even within those groups, some of them just want a good woman, but then, you're going to get a percentage of men in there who just want to be players. Monogamy is hard for a man who got women constantly checking him out, constantly throwing it at him, because that's the world of the select. They're not going out meeting women, so they got women throwing it at them. And of course, as I kind of mentioned in another video, if these dudes satisfying the women sexually, shoot, these men don't have to treat these women well. But see, the problem is these women are so focused on the small group, they ain't noticing what the large group really wants. And the large group just really want to, despite dudes out here talking about they don't want to get married and they don't want to settle and they don't want to be bothered. You give the majority of these dudes a good woman who's supportive. She don't even have to be like drop dead gorgeous, just decent looking enough. Who gonna, support them, be a companion to them, help them build some shit. They good. They're good. Ain't bringing any drama to their lives. They gonna be more than good, and that's what most men want. I talk to the guys out here. I'm not doing, trust me, I'm not a person who sits on the computer all day. In fact, my brother O'Shea Duke Jackson, we that's a running joke between us. We'll message each other on Facebook, right? And O'Shea will be like, all right, I know I only got 5 minutes. And then during the conversation, okay, I got 3 minutes and 12 seconds left. But then we'll start talking about a big booty woman or something, and then I'll give my extra 2 minutes. But I don't stay on social media, I don't stay on the computer. I mean, even my cell phone, it's a prepaid. I'll tell y'all straight up, I got a prepaid cell phone. I mean, I might get a regular one when I really start getting on Instagram. I mean, I got something on there, but that's just on my computer, and y'all know y'all can't really upload shit. So I'm like, shit. But when I get my Instagram campaign going on, then I'll get a cell phone. And even then, it'll be a cell phone, a regular cell phone, smartphone, just to upload shit, literally. Just to deal with, it'll be strictly business. I won't even tell anybody the number. It'll be just something to upload shit. And then that won't be all the time because I'm not a person on a computer. And I say all that to say this. I work the streets. I be my normal day, I'm walking along stores, people on my private say no, I talk to a lot of young ladies when I'm out and about, but I be talking to a lot of fellas. I be seeing what's out there. I don't trust what I see just on the internet. So I be out there. I be hollering, I could just go walking in my neighborhood, see a brother who got his big ass, don't even know his name, be saying what's up and everything, got his big ass Rottweiler and shit. Look like one of those Richard Pryor dogs would eat somebody. But I just talk with people, man. I just get out here and talk with the fellas especially. Most of them ain't trying to be players. It's like, I know some womanizers. I know some womanizers, but ironically, many of the womanizers I know are white. And, that's for the swirlers thinking, oh, yeah, I'm going to get that white guy. I'm like, nah, they on some serious game. Seriously. I've said the game is somewhat different, but it's still the same result. Right? But I only know most of these guys, if they not with somebody, they'd rather be with somebody. They just want a good woman. They just want to sit back and chill. All right? And I think that's the thing that's not really talked about in these conversations, especially in these conversations that make it to the national media. We're not talking about that. It's always like these brothers doing this, these brothers are deadbeats, or these brothers having a bunch of kids and not taking care of them. Like even I remember last year or a couple years ago. Might have been a couple years now when that dude Jay Williams was on the Iyanla Vanzant on her show. That dude had 34 kids, and then they had that big show where they had a bunch of brothers on there who had multiple kids. But I still never forget one brother stood up. He was in the audience, and he said, "Nah, he's single and he don't have a bunch of kids." There's a lot of good men out there. And many of these men want good women. But see, that's not the conversation that's out. That's not the narrative out there. Too many women and are focusing on Mr. Good Boy. They focusing on that status man, or they focusing on that celebrity who supposedly had a STD. And they making a big deal out of all of that, but I'm just like, well, hold up, hon. Hold up. Okay, y'all folk, you got about 45 women going after one man, right? But then you got a bunch of men over here, they sitting there, they saying, look, I'm trying to be in a relationship. I'm trying to chill. I've had dudes say it. I had some brothers who, look like they can handle themselves in a fight, strong-minded, educated, or at least gainfully employed. Because, this thing goes across class boundaries. And they would like, man, I just want somebody to chill out with. And shoot, even some of the womanizers, like this one dude. And I mentioned this dude, and people who read my book, Nice Guys and Players, know I mentioned this dude. Like I said, he will come on, if he came on here, he would blow all of us out. All of us, including myself, all of us out. Because, I listen to this dude, I'm like, damn. And I be telling him, too. I say, dude, man, let me just record you one day. I'm like, but he cool, man. He just, he just have his women that fly in to fuck him. Seriously, he got women who fly. They flying from across the country to get with his ass and shit. And even he said, man, sometimes I got all these women, but sometimes I just want to come home to a woman who I know gives a fuck about me. Now, this a womanizer. This a prolific womanizer. This motherfucker been fucking since I met the motherfucker when he was 10. Seriously. Shit. This one of the few human beings on the planet. Like, if I saw any woman I'm messing with, even like looking his way, I'd be like, shit. R. Kelly would be nervous around this motherfucker. Seriously. R. Kelly would be like, oh, hold up. Let me grab my women. This motherfucker coming in the room. Shit. and him, this prolific womanizer was like, man, I just want to chill. So many men out there, want to, they want to, but that's not the narrative, And like I said, I talk to people out here, and of course you see the shit on social media. We just call them thirsty brothers, right? But they ain't thirsty. They just want what any normal man wants. Any normal man wants that. Now, some men will say, well, you know what, I don't want that anymore. Well, you know what, that's your choice, but it's usually because you've gone through some shit trying to find what you want. And you just say, you know what, I don't feel like dealing with the bullshit I gotta go through just to get something I think should be very simple. And, I think that's a conversation that needs to be had. That's a conversation. That's what should be the media thing. Now, I've said on other videos, I'm chomping at the bit for that news show that talks about there's a shortage of good black men, or these deserving women can't find a man. That's one of the reasons why I'm jumping on this thing with insecure, because that's really sparking a conversation. That is sparking a conversation, and sometimes it takes a work of fiction to spark a conversation, because that's the one thing it's did. That's why I'm jumping on it. But I love, like, they have like that, y'all remember that ABC News special they had with Steve Harvey and Hill Harper and I think Sherry Shepherd. I love for them to have that. Man, shoot, I'd be putting out the call. I say, if we know beforehand, I say, fellas, we got to crash that. Get some tickets. If we can't get tickets, we need to be outside holding press conferences or something. They ever do something like that again. Because there are a lot of men out here who they ain't trying to be players. They trying to be good dudes. They trying to do the right thing. They actually want to be parents. We not talking about them in the conversation. We not talking about them. And look, if we're going to be real with it, they got to come apart. They got to become a part of the conversation. If we're going to be real with it. And like I said, that, it's mostly dudes who, they ain't trying to be womanizers and stuff. But like I said, like the example I gave, there's some womanizers, they just tired of the game. I mean, honestly, I've known some dudes who have said, you know what, I need to chill out. Maybe I just need to leave this city. Go find some place where they don't know me at, so I can just chill. And trust me, I understand that. So anyway, as always, something to think about. And, just to understand, one of the things I want to do, and the things I've always done with my videos, and it's not so much giving everybody game or, that's part of it, but also the self-development part. But, I'm thinking about the future. And I'd rather have a better environment for my sons. Yeah, I got a selfish motive in this. And plus, I might need some grandkids to take care of my crazy ass when I'm 90. Because, my sons, they'll set me up in a house and shit. But, I might be on my own. They'll make sure my rent stay paid and some food stay in the cupboard. But otherwise, I might need some grandkids to help me out. So, nah, in all seriousness, though, that's my thing, man. People suffering out here, and I don't think they really need to. Anyway, that's it for today. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.